Top of the morning to you. It is Thursday. We are broadcasting live right here on Facebook. This is the About Mansfield Consumer Advice Series. I'm Steve Casillo, and today, usually we do these on Fridays. We're starting a brand new feature today, and if you happen to catch it in the opening where we've got the building wealth and talking about health, and we're starting the new sponsor today is Bartlett Tree Experts, and Cameron Scott is here. He's the spokesperson for Bartlett Tree Experts. We're going to be doing a series on trees because if you're a homeowner, I don't know, Cameron, tell me if this is true. I don't know a homeowner anywhere in Mansfield that doesn't own a tree.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. So this is right up every homeowner's alley, every business owner's alley that the business has a tree. And today we're going to be talking about something that is kind of near and dear to my heart. I was our HOA president for the past 6 years. I just ended my 6-year, 3 2-year terms. I just ended it in February, a couple of months ago. And we have along the entrance of our subdivision about 40 crepe myrtles. They're beautiful. But the one thing that I see around the subdivision is what's affectionately known as crepe murder, which happens in the late winter or late fall, early winter type of thing, where they prune the heck out of their crepe myrtles. Why are people topping their crepe myrtles?
So this crepe murder, as it's so affectionately called, it's done because crepe myrtles produce flowers on new growth. So new shoots, when they bud out in the spring, those new ones that form in the spring, once we get to summertime, those are the ones that the flowers form on. So what's the best way to get new flowers? Just cut all the old ones off, and it's forced to grow brand new ones every single summer. And it really, people will just top them off at 12 feet, 8 feet, 5 feet even. Just kind of depends on what height they're wanting to get out of them. But that's what the goal is.
And then there's also the goal to keep the crepe myrtles from being too large. And which leads to the next question is, how large can a crepe myrtle get without being cropped?
Sky's pretty much the limit on that. I think the biggest one I've ever seen is up in Keller. It's probably 30, 40 feet tall.
Oh my gosh. And so people do then top them to keep them at bay.
Right. Yeah. They're really fast growing trees. And if allowed to, they'll just take off on you. Before you know it, you get 3-4 years with no pruning, and then you got an out of control tree on your hands.
Okay. Throughout this series, I may be referring back to the crepe myrtles because just last December, I think it was, we were out in Canton, and I actually bought my very first crepe myrtle. I'm sure it has a name. I don't know what kind of species or it is, but it has beautiful dark red leaves, and it was dormant at the time that I bought it. It's now going nuts, which is great. But I've taken that advice of not murdering my crepe. Well, it's only about 3 feet tall, but throughout this series, I may be going back and asking questions about my own crepe myrtle. Is it bad to top crepe myrtles?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're essentially robbing the tree of its food source by doing that. You're making the tree start from scratch every year. Every year you top your crepe myrtle, you're making your tree start from scratch. And use all that resources that it has stored away in the winter for new growth, and making it form new branches, which is very energy intensive. It also leads to other problems. You're stressing these trees out. You're going to get pest problems. You're going to get probably some mildew problems. It's just a magnet for problems by topping them.
And so the next question was, what's the proper way to trim a crepe myrtle? And now trimming versus topping. So is there a proper way to trim a crepe myrtle?
Oh, absolutely. And it's very straightforward once you kind of get the hang of it. It's more of just making everything occupy its own space, getting rid of thinning out the dead branches, any rubbing branches. I mean, those are a no-brainer to take out. And then reducing down, you can reduce. When you reduce, just make sure you're coming down to a lateral. The rule of thumb is you reduce to a lateral branch that is about a third the size of the parent branch. So that branch will then the lateral branch that you're pruning to will become the new branch, and the pruning cut will seal over time.
All right. So don't top them.
Don't top them.
Trim them. And all right. So the crepe myrtle that I have tends to go out quite a bit. Is it a bad thing to try to train it to grow straight up as opposed to branching out? I know that there are some types of landscape tape or rope that you can use, but is that a bad thing for a crepe myrtle?
Or I'd stay away from any sort of like outside material that you're putting on the tree, unless it's like wrapped to protect against sun scald, which crepe myrtles don't need that. But you have to kind of use a light hand if you want to train it to be the single trunk, because that's I actually have a volunteer crepe myrtle in my yard that's growing, and that's what I'm trying to do. So every year it's going to grow a little bit, and then the amount that it grows, about that height, I'll take off the bottom to train that single branch.
Okay, and is there a proper distance? I walk around my neighborhood, and about every 3 houses has a crepe myrtle. Some of them are close to the house. Some are right in the middle of the lawn. Is there a proper distance that someone should take into consideration when putting it closer to the house?
Well, it all comes down to right tree, right place, and that goes for all trees. There are different cultivars of crepe myrtles that'll stay smaller. I think the red one, the name escapes me at the moment, but I think yours will stay pretty small and grow pretty slowly. So that one could probably be closer to the house, maybe 5 feet or so. But if you got one of these larger, more aggressive varieties on your hands, then maybe that buffer is 10 or 12 feet. It just depends.
Okay, on the variety.
Right.
All right. Cameron, we did not at the very beginning get into who you are and your background. Before we get into your contact information, if you want to take the Reader's Digest version of who is Cameron Scott and how did you get into the tree service?
Sure. Well, my name's Cameron. I'm originally from Central Indiana. I have a forestry degree from Purdue University, and I've been an arborist for 4 years now. I worked with Bartlett right out of college. Made my way down to DFW after graduation. I've been kind of given this Mansfield area to develop and grow, and I'm looking forward to getting more involved in the community.
And I see you a lot on social media as Cameron,
Yeah.
your local arborist, and people have reached out to you. And we look forward to having you here on the Consumer Advice Series every Thursday at this time, every Thursday morning, talking about trees. And again, I don't know any homeowner that doesn't own a tree. So this is right up every homeowner's alley here in Mansfield. Cameron Scott, if someone wanted more information about how to properly take care of their crepe myrtles, how can they reach out to you?
Well, they can send me an email. I'm at cscott@bartlett.com. That's CSCOTT at BARTLETT.com. You could also give my office a call if you want to set up an appointment. Phone number is 817-656-8733.
Cameron Scott, welcome to About Mansfield. We look forward to doing this every week. And again, you are with Bartlett Tree Experts. Give Cameron a call, and let's do this again next week.
Glad to be here.